Hello, this is Jan Cosgrove, Bognor Herald News View, 18th of June 2022. You can find a lot of stories in the Herald, which has now changed its way of doing things. You get one lead story every day, or maybe two, and then a number of leading stories. And of course, our website is full of contacts to other newspapers and broadcasters and so forth. Well worth a daily visit, I can tell you. And there's also a bag load of information about where to find things, entertainment and other sort of useful information. The lead story, however, goes back to 2003 and the period just after that, and deals with Arun District Council's housing, or particularly those on the housing waiting list. In 2003, there were 905 on the Arun housing waiting list. And I'll go up year by year now. Then to 1385, 2309, 2389, 3882, 3315, 3566, 3221, 3653, 5175 in 2012, and then 1171 and 988. Now that's interesting, because in 2003, I recall as an Arun councillor at that time, attending a seminar on the likely need for additional affordable housing in the district. Well, the consultant we had, who was well experienced, used the method where he said, I'm going to tell you not who wants to come into the district, but who in the area will need a home, to form a home, a forming household, in other words, in that period. And that was to 2011. And he said, having got the number of likely households that will form across the district, I then will have a look at the number who will need social housing, affordable housing. The total figure he came up with was just under 6,000 affordable homes would be needed, which dismayed the Conservative majority. One of them, with a very nice 5-bedroom house in Kingston on the other side of the river, declared that he didn't have any faith in this at all. He didn't believe a word of it, because the man who was a consultant also worked for Labour councils as well. There you are. And he said, there are empty homes in Wigan. Well, let's go back then to those figures. In 2012, thereabouts 5175, spot on prediction, are on the housing waiting list, needing a home. 5,175. The next year it had dropped to 1,171, a drop of 4,000. Now I presume Wigan Transport must have come down in large convoys to get those people. Where did they go? What did Arun say was the reason for that? Well, Arun claims that local connection requirements were introduced. Well, that's interesting, because that seems to conflict with the fact that this man had told us that these were people with local connections. Am I going to get more information out of Arun? Well, from my recent experience, I have to tell you, Arun is remarkably adept at not holding information, which, by the way, in one case it then told me it had, although it said it didn't really have it. Go figure. It's true, I'll assure you. Well, I asked, basically, what had happened to these people. How many people on those waiting lists in all those years had been housed by Arun in affordable homes, either council houses or social housing? We don't hold that information, says Arun. We don't know what happened to them, boss. They just disappeared into the murk. So Arun doesn't know, in all those years, who it housed. It doesn't hold the information. And you wonder why this country's in a mess. So, what other stories? Two big stories in the last couple of days, which you'd like to look up in the Herald. Firstly, wine in West Sussex. No, drinking wine. And that is actually something that West Sussex has got quite a little reputation for. The Nye Timber winery and so forth. Well, eat your heart out, Mr. Frenchman, because as well as champagne having protected status, so do our West Sussex wines. And jolly good they are, and I can't possibly afford them. But cheers. I'm going to drink a bit of cider after this, but cheers if you can afford a bottle. Bad marks for Arun from the Ombudsman, who has awarded £900 against him for a treatment of an Arun Council tenant. Oh yes, one of those. He complained, or she complained, that Arun was not doing repairs and that the house was in a mess. And Arun simply would not do anything about it, and even blamed the person. The Ombudsman rapped at Arun quite severely for it, including awarding £900, of which a part of it was for accusing the person of not being serious. As I say, a lot more stories in the Herald every day. Now, looking forward, I can tell you that during this week there'll be an extra edition of Newsview because we've got a breaking story. It's about local government, but not Arun and not West Sussex. A rather scandalous story, we think, and one that will raise a lot of embarrassment and questions. Keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, we've got a Facebook page. Things are posted on that daily. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.